Yeah. Today's topic is about what is biodiversity and types of the biodiversity. First, come to the topic that is biodiversity. The biodiversity means it is a simply relation between the living organisms to the different ecosystems of the environment, which means for living purpose human beings are destroying the forest like hills area. Generally this forest and hill area is naturally occurred one. For living purpose and other purposes, the human beings are the destroying the forest as well as the hill area and like aquatic areas also. Okay, this is a these all things comes under the biodiversity. Means simply it is a contraction between living organisms and different ecosystems of the environment. Okay, that is about biodiversity. Means in this biodiversity we are going to learn by disturbing, by inhabiting these forest and hill area and aquatic regions, what the problems we are facing and how we have to rectify these type of problems. These all things we can learn in the biodiversity. Okay, now these biodiversity is divided into three types. Okay, the first one is the genetic diversity, and the second one is species diversity, and third one is ecosystem diversity. Again I am recalling here, biodiversity means it is a contraction of living organisms with the different ecosystems of the environment. Means by living purposes or any other commercial purposes, living organisms like means human beings are disturbing the or destroying the forest area and aquatic areas as well as the soil as well as the hill area. Okay, by inhabiting these things we are facing different problems in the environment, and at the same time we are going to solve these type of problems. Means this type of total education we are learn in the biodiversity. Okay, now biodiversity is of three types. First one is the genetic diversity. Next one here, species diversity, and the third one is ecosystem diversity. Total three diversities are there. Again I am recalling, here is the ecosystem diversity and species diversity and genetic diversity. Okay, first come to the genetic diversity. It is a well-known thing about the human beings. Genetic diversity nothing but here we have to explain the about genes nothing but DNA character. Okay, genes nothing but these are the basic material. These are the basic material of heredity nothing but which transmits from higher generation to the lower generation. Simply we can call it as a grandfather to the father and father to our generation. Okay, and this genetic material is composed in the form of a DNA. Means our legs, hands, eyes and our face cuts and different structure of the human being and living organism is totally depends on the gene diversity. That is nothing but which depends on DNA. Okay, and this DNA is nothing but it is a one type of a material which is called, see here, DNA is determined by the sequence of nitrogenous bases. Means DNA is a one type of a chemical which has a nitrogenous bases. Okay, in this nitrogenous bases there are four different nitrogenous bases are there, that is adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine. Based on this sequence one of the DNA is prepared, and this based on this sequence of the nitrogenous bases, see here, physiological, behavioral and characteristics. Means based on the sequence of this nitrogenous bases, which means by the combination of these nitrogenous bases which forms a amino acids. Okay, the combination of these nitrogenous bases results in the production of amino acids. Again these amino acids are going to combine to result as a protein. Okay, in this protein whatever the sequence is present about the nitrogenous bases, it is the responsible for development of the anatomical and physiological and behavioral characteristics of living organism. Means again I am simply recalling, gene diversity refers to the genetic material of the generation or genetic material of the human being. Means simply it deals with the DNA of the living organisms. Okay, the structure and the life and growth of a living organism is totally depends on the genetic diversity, means which depends on the DNA. Generally this DNA is combined with this characterized of a proteins, means DNA is made up of a protein, but proteins made by the amino acids. Okay, these amino acids made by the nitrogenous bases, means there is a link is there. First one is the nitrogenous bases. By the combination of nitrogenous bases will get a amino acids. By the combination of different amino acids will result a protein. The combination of different types of proteins will result a DNA. Okay, in this, based on the sequence of the nitrogenous bases in protein and based on the sequence of the protein in DNA, it gives the structural means physiological, means the structure of the human being, and character like behavioral and like emotions with the help of a different codings of the DNA, and anatomical means development of the organism. Okay, these all things will learn in the genetic diversity. Okay, and next thing is about, see here, genetic diversity, variation of the genetic constitution in living organisms. And one more is there, mutation is a change. Mutation nothing but we are transforming from one type of gene material to another gene material. Okay, next one, for example, if you take a example, all human beings are having the similar genetic diversity, means everyone is having the 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 arms when compared to the other living organisms. Like animals, if you take any animal like buffalo or any other thing, okay, it has the different structure with the human being, but all human beings are having the same type of a structure, like 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, like this way. Okay, these all things we are going to learn in the genetic diversity, means we have to learn about the gene material of the living organisms. Okay, next one is about second diversity, that is the species diversity. Second one is about species diversity. Species diversity, it is very simple. Species diversity refers to number of the species, number of species habitat or a region or along with the relative abundance. Again I am repeating here, specific diversity. Specific diversity in simply way we can explain that the number of species present or number of species naturally occurred in a particular region of the surface or area. Okay, particular area, maybe it will be explained in the form of a, for example, take the trees, it is one type of a species. Take the forest, in the forest it is having the so many number of the species, means so many types of the different types of plant materials will be there, and they are also belongs to the different families. Okay, and species diversity is also depends in different kinds. One is number of species, one is kinds of species, and number of individuals present per species, means number of species nothing but how many types, how many member of different types of families of the plants, or you can explain in the another way also. Okay, and I took here one example is like a plant family, so I am explaining in terms of a number of species in the plant. Similarly, kinds of species means so many plants are there, but every plant can use in different purpose. Some are useful for household, like for windows. Okay, for example, take a teakwood. It is not useful in the medicine, but it is useful for the household, like windows and doors. And if you take the other material like pencil, so not penicillin, it is like fungi. Okay, another example is about neem plant. Neem plant is also used, it is used in the medicines, means based on the nature and based on the kind of species. And one more, it is about number of individuals per species. Number of individual per species means if we take mango tree, in mangoes so many different types of names of mangoes are there, because mangoes is belongs to one family, but in that family there are different types of material, means different types of kinds of the species are available, means within one family different varieties. Okay, now again I am repeating about specific diversity from starting here. Specific diversity refers to the number of species present in a particular region, area along their relative abundance. Along their relative abundance means total complete surrounding area also. Okay, this number of species, again see, specific diversity varies in different way. That is, one is number of species and kinds of species and individuals per species. Okay, number of species means how many types of families of plants present in particular area, and second one, kinds of species means what type of plant can use. For example, teakwood is useful for the household, like windows and the doors. And second, one more example I took, that is neem family. Neem family is useful for the medical purposes. And third one is in number of individuals per species, means if we take the mango family, so many mangoes are there, but in that mangoes also so many are different ways. Okay, some mangoes we are going to using for pickles, some mangoes are going to use it as a fruit, like sweet fruits. Okay, this is, and one more thing, according to now it has been estimated that more than 1.7 million species have been discovered, means throughout the world. So in all kinds, not only in plants, all types of materials, living organisms as well as the non-living organisms. Okay, totally how many it is discovered throughout the world? That is 1.7 million species. And next one here, in species diversity only there are two different characters. One is the species richness, one is the species richness, and second one is the species evenness. Species richness nothing but more number of quantity of the species, that is called species rich. See here, number of different species present. Okay, that is also more number. Biologically diverse community means all species present in one particular area, that is called species richness. And in species richness there are two types, that is high species richness, low species richness. High species richness nothing but if you take marine ecosystem nothing but which is having the hilly area, water aquatic area as well as the plant area and different animal living area, that is marine ecosystem. See, which is having the high species richness. And second one, take temperate forest. Temperate forest means it is like a small forest which has a more number of species, but compared to marine ecosystem it comes under low species richness. And next second one is about species richness, species evenness. Species evenness means already we learned previously, that is number of individuals present in each species present. That is I explained with the help of a mango tree. Okay, mango tree. So simply you can explain the same matter here. According to ecologists, there are millions of species present in the ecosystem. Okay, this is about which one? Species richness and species evenness. Now we are moving for the third one, that is ecosystem diversity. Okay, ecosystem diversity means, listen careful, ecosystem diversity means again there is a interaction or contraction between living organism with the ecosystem. Okay, living organism with the ecosystem. See here, simply it refers to a variety of ecosystems given area and where community of organisms interact with their physical environment. Means whatever the organism or living organisms present in that particular area, how they are utilizing that ecosystem. Means for example 60 families are present in one gated community area or one community area. Okay, in that area how they are using the water, like from ponds they are using, or like they are using from the bore wells. But means these ponds and these bore wells comes under the ecosystem. And one more, they are using the roads, how they are using the place, and how they are using the open air, and how they are using and how they are interacting with the air pollution, water pollution, and how they are interacting with one family to other family, and how they are seeding the plants. Okay, these all things simply means we can explain so many ecosystems are there in the planet. Means like water ecosystem, air ecosystem, soil ecosystem, so many things are there. Means simply here is the interaction between the living organisms with the total ecosystems of the planet, which comes under ecosystem diversity. And ecosystem diversity is a large area of thousands of kilometers. Means total planet is, we are calling simply as a ecosystem. In that ecosystem, so many different types of ecosystems are there. For example, take a forest. Forest is a large area. Okay, forest means it is a very big area which covered by the number of plant species. Okay, that is a large area. Take the pond area. Ponds means it is a very small area. Ponds nothing but water ponds, means these are the storages of the water which covers the small areas. Okay, and next here, why we are learning these ecosystem diversity, species diversity, and first other diversity, because of, see here, human and their activities are collapsing the ecosystem. Okay, how we are collapsing the ecosystem diversity means, see here, introduction of exotic species, means by establishing the different chemical industries. These chemical industries can generate the wastages in very dangerous chemicals in the form of a wastage, as well as in the form of a smoke which is directly exposed to the environment, as well as the waste material, very poisonous waste material is mixing with the water. Okay, and these all things are causes for the global climate change, over usage of the electric energy. Okay, and next one is about destruction, modification of habitat nothing but naturally occurred location in particular area. Means we are destruction, modification means for living purpose nowadays we are destroying the forest, and we are destroying the hills area, and we are closing some small ponds which nearer to the villages. Okay, these all things, and one more is about over exploitation nothing but if we take the sandalwood trees. Okay, based on earning more money, we are cutting the sandalwood trees illegally, which are going to affect the global climatic change. Okay, these all things we learnt in the biodiversity. Means all three different diversities explain different character. First one is the genetic diversity, which explain the genetic material, and second one is the third one is the ecosystem diversity, and second one is the species diversity. Okay, thank you.